What is going on, people? Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully the chat is working because I did make some adjustments. Because yeah, I needed to rearrange the screen. What is going on? 343 Brand New Legion. What's going on, Phil? What is going on this Wednesday night? We are going to be diving into some Tales of the Valiant today. Give me a second. Hit a little refresh here for chat. See if chat actually pops up. If not, I can always switch to this. Okay, chat's not working over there, but chat is working. There we go. Oh, okay. Now let's go. Let's go with the jumbo big screen. So before we jump in, just wanted to announce I'm going to be joining. I'm going to be on Quedup's channel on June 9th at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be playing in a Cypher System game alongside Bob World Builder, Nerd Immersion, and a few others. And it's going to be a cyberpunk themed game. My first time playing the Cypher System completely. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And I'm super looking forward to it. Want to learn a new system. I've been branching out of 5e. As you can tell, we've been last week we did my first impression of Pathfinder, and today we're going to actually go back a little bit to a 5e adjacent by looking at Tales of the Valiant. And then next week, I will be looking at Vagabond. So there's going to be a lot more games we're going to be looking at, like probably every Wednesday. It's either going to be looking at new games, maybe playing some video games, or going over weekly news. If not, I might move the news stuff to the Sunday streams where I will be doing mainly design work and then maybe talk about news there too. There's a lot of news that came out, a lot of discussions regarding the price hikes for the D&D 5e books that Wizards of the Coast is putting out, which is it's crazy, but they're not the only ones like doing huge price hikes. The video game pricing is going up too. So a standard like AAA title is going up to like $70 now. I'm very, very apprehensive of buying really any video game that has any sort of time investment. I have been eyeballing Diablo 4 and I was looking forward to playing it, but the base game is $70. There is a battle pass system built into it, which I don't understand. And then on top of that, if you pay for the $90 version of it, you get the full unlocked battle pass. And if you pay $100, you get like a full ultimate edition with ads, a bunch of other stuff on top of that. It's my wallet, man. Not really liking how companies gaming in the gaming industry, whether it's the TTRPG or the video game industry, are just like price gouging the hell out of everybody. Never buy Blizzard at launch. Yeah, I really think I'm gonna have to sit it out until maybe a few updates come out. I was really looking forward to Diablo. I like that game series. I like the gameplay, but that is super, super pricey. And 2 weeks after that, Final Fantasy 16 comes out. So it's one of those things that I get to play a game for 2 weeks, and then I get to play another game I'm looking forward to playing. Speaking of other games, actually, today PlayStation had their big ol', pretty much their E3-esque event, and they're showcasing a bunch of new games. That Spider-Man game, looking sweet. Spider-Man is looking pretty good. It's pulling from a lot of stories. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of Kraven's Last Hunt. We are also going to be getting some of the Symbiote Saga with Miles Morales kind of tucked into all of that. So I'm looking forward to all that. Also, Metal Gear Solid 3 re-release. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater is coming out. That I never got into the Metal Gear Solid franchise. That was more along like my brother doing it, but he really liked that series. But it's one of those that I enjoy watching, but it is super convoluted. Super convoluted. But ain't hating on it. Has a lot of people that really enjoy that series. So I wish more hero got that kind of treatment. Yeah, I really do too. I know there's a Wolverine game coming out. That one I'm super excited. I was actually kind of thinking they were gonna put they weren't gonna show Spider-Man footage, that they were gonna just put a Wolverine footage out and still make us wait for more Spider-Man stuff. But uh, I ain't upset. Spider-Man looks sweet. There's a bunch of other cool games too. Marathon looked pretty interesting from Bungie, and then it looks like there is a Destiny 2 event for their next update for that game called I forgot what it was. It looks like it's gonna be like their final update for the game. That's the way they're making it sound. So yeah, and there's a bunch of other smaller games, a lot of indie games I got shown off, which they all seem pretty cool. But I was just really waiting for like the big game, and it looks like that game was Spider-Man. So gonna be interesting. Interesting year for games. I'm looking forward to seeing what Microsoft pulls out with. See if maybe there's some Elder Scrolls. For sure, there's Starfall. Hopefully that game doesn't suck. But yeah. All right. So let's get into what we're actually here for. So today we'll be taking over. Today we'll be taking an overview of the classes of Tales of Valiant. I'm not going to go into the full shebang of this. It is I don't even know how many pages this thing is. It's a dense monster. Oh, let me pull this back up. It is a dense boy. Very, very dense. So I'm not going to be going through this 100%, but I for sure will be going through at least the classes. So today we're going to do just a brief overview of all the classes for Tales of Valiant. We're not going to get into the subclasses. I just wanted to do the main classes because just to see how they really stack up against current 5e and also what we've seen with the 2024 update of 5e. So Tales of the Valiant is Kobold Press's take on the 5th edition system. It's been highly anticipated since the OGL controversy that happened at the beginning of this year and towards the end of last year. It was so anticipated. The Kickstarter went up this week. It got funded in 30 minutes, which is crazy. So immediately, if you're going to Kickstarter now to go put your money behind this, it's already funded. It's already guaranteed. Now it's just all stretch goals. So, like I said, it's not going to be a mechanical deep dive. What I will be doing is just a general first impression of the classes, mainly how they're going to interact with 5e, and then compare it to the pretty much current 5e classes, and also the material we're seeing in the 2024 update. The biggest selling point behind behind Tales of the Valiant, the Kobold Press has gone on the record in their promotion and everywhere saying they want it to embrace 5e and expand upon it. They want their system to be backwards compatible with all 5e content and want their game to be seen as 5.5e. So this is very different than the marketing spiel that we're getting out of Wizards, who claim that their game and everything for 5e that they put out now is backwards compatible, despite all signs, all design, everything they've pushed out saying otherwise. So we got two companies designing for 5e, putting out content. Both are saying they're backwards compatible. So I want to look into that and see how much of Kobold Press's take on what it means to be backwards compatible is for the game, and how many changes, how drastic these changes are going to be for the classes. Excuse me. So with the OGL controversy pretty much fresh in the minds of everybody, whether you're a player, a designer, and just the industry at large, many are wondering if Tales of the Valiant will be the breakout core fantasy TTRPG like Pathfinder was before it during 3.5. And obviously there's always this talk of like the D&D killer, and many people are hoping that this system is going to be the D&D 5e killer. But that's what we're going to look into. Is this going to be the D&D 5e killer? So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. This PDF is 63 pages. It is a 63-page preview. Just straight up chunkiness. There's a lot going on. Can I zoom in on who the designer credits are? Yeah, let's pull it up right here. Let's go to the next page. We're gonna go. Can you guys see it? Is it not out of frame? Okay, we're a little out of frame. Because I have to kind of have it a little weird. Let me zoom out. See if you guys can see it. Is this legible? Is it readable? Oh, 75. So, designer credits. I got Celeste Konowich, JB Little, and Sebastian Rombach. And then those are the lead designers. Designers, we got John Joseph Adams, Wolfgang Burr, Tim Hitchcock, Rajan Khanna, Jeff Lee, Greg Marks, Mike Shea, Brian Siskind, and Mike Wilhelm. So that is the development team there. Celeste Konowich, I believe, did do some work for Wizards of the Coast. I just don't, off the top of my head, I just don't know which books she worked on. So for me, the big Mike Shea, do tell. Okay. Need to put this. Hold on. My computer's being finicky. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I did recognize the name. It appears, yeah, Sly Flourish himself, Mike Shea, is on this. So he is on this. The Lazy Dungeon Master. Really, really solid book. So in the preview PDF, what they have for the classes is the first 5 levels and then 2 subclasses only for the cleric, the fighter, the rogue, and the wizard. So the classic 4 party. That's all they have. And then for what I've kind of glanced over, because I did take a look at it earlier today before streaming, just so I kind of know what the heck I was getting into. The subclasses are pretty much retelling or reimagined versions of the standard 2 subclasses, the most prominent ones or the most iconic archetypes that people associate with the core class. So there is that. But let me go down, because we're pretty much with the PDF, you're going to get the basic introduction. What exactly is the game? What you need to play? What's in the preview? A lot of the preview stuff is going to be mainly player-centered options. So when we get into character creation, they tell you pretty much step by step on how they expect you to really develop the kind of character you want. So they want you to create a character concept first, then you're going to choose your class, you determine your ability scores. But one thing I noticed about the ability scores, they're not really changing anything about ability scores. You're still going to use ability scores that create ability modifiers. This is, for me, this has become a sticking point with a lot of like games. I don't care for the ability score modifier, since most games don't use it anymore. It's always about the modifier, not the ability score. So that's one thing I liked about Pathfinder, is that they did focus on the modifier. And then I guess with their update now, they are going to 100% like completely get rid of ability scores and go all in on the modifier. Because at least with 5e, as far as I remember off the top of my head, we don't use ability scores at all. It's just there to calculate your ability modifier. And there's probably other ways that you can just calculate the ability modifier for your character. But either way, it's there. It's what you know. It's what is in the base of 5e. They provide you different methods. Right here, you can roll it, you can point by, and then you have the standard array. So they're not changing much. After you have your ability scores, you're going to jump to choosing a lineage and heritage. This replaces what race and subrace are. The big difference with this system is that lineages are going to be the equivalent to a race, but heritage is not the equivalent to a subrace. It is a culture. It is It is a history, it is a community, it's whatever you need it to be in your setting that any lineage can pick from. So there is a pool of heritages that you can choose from and attach that to your lineage, which is pretty sweet. Okay, scores are used in some features. They're used for feat prerequisites. That is true. Prerequisites and multi-classing. But multi-classing is an optional rule. Their rule. Actually. The quote unquote optional multi-class rule that nobody abides by, that the optional part. That rule. Also some floor style features. That is true. But yeah, the thing I for lineages and heritages, let me see. They're really deep into here, but let me just scroll down because this is what I found like super interesting. Okay, so they're gonna have your basic lineages, your basic options. You got beastkin, which is your standard animal man, animal person, animal folk. That you can pick an avian, you can pick agile, you can pick aquatic, just your standard animal person. And then you got your dwarves, your elves, your humans. There is no, they don't got little people. There's no halflings in here for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. What's up with that? But yeah, so you got your standard. So you can see if you're going to be a beastkin lineage, you got a speed, your heightened senses, natural weapons, which you expect to be there, natural adaptation, and then what kind of animal you want to be. Dwarves, dwarven resilience is still there, dwarven toughness is there, and then you have elf, so on. But then you have this pool or this set of options you can choose from. And the thing is, the lineages have suggested or recommended heritages that pair with it, but you're not stuck to only choosing those options. So there are like obviously there's going to be equivalents like dwarf, fireforge, and stone. Most likely are going to be equivalent to hill and there's hill dwarves and what's the other one? I don't even remember. Yeah. Don't care about sub races. Don't remember them. But yeah, you get the point. So they give you those equivalences. But say you want to be a human that was in a dwarven community or had in a dwarven community that was built around building forges and building weapons and building armor and stuff. Well, you can be a human with fireforge instead. Or you want to be a nomadic dwarf. You didn't live in the earth. You didn't live in the mountains with your dwarven brothers and sisters. You were out in the wild, just kind of roaming around. Boom, you can be a nomadic. Or if you want to be a city person, everybody can be cosmopolitan. So I thought this was a cool system. It's very, very interesting. This is something would make a lot of sense if with the 2024 update for D&D 5e that they could have leaned in a system like this instead of just doing this weird pick whatever you want background system that they're kind of having for their game, because background is being like the background has become that encapsulates culture, community, everything, or at least for the D&D 5e. But it's nice to see that they're giving culture its own section in Tales of the Valiant. This is Gwen Marshall's ancestry and culture. Wow, I like it. I like it. It works, especially say you're bringing in setting books, right? Especially stuff like, let's say, Ebron, for example. This reminds me a lot of Ebron because amongst the population of a lot of the nations, you're going to have elves, humans, dwarves, etc. But a dwarf, elf, human from one country is vastly different from a dwarf, human, elf from another country. So yeah, so that is, I can see that'd be super awesome system just to add instead of sub races. So just having this in there, this is like a big bonus, big plus. Okay, so let's go back. So before we go into more, alongside after lineages and heritage, you get the backgrounds. I didn't dive into backgrounds too much at all, but let's let's see. Yeah, because the book is really structured in a way to structured exactly how you would build a character. So that's another thing. They have their classes up front, then eventually it works its way down to backgrounds. So with backgrounds, you pick two skills, additional proficiencies in the languages, and then an equipment, and then a talent. So their version of feats, I'm assuming. And it looks like they also have pretty much your standard backgrounds. So they give you the rules to kind of customize your background, but then they have your standard ones that you can just pull from. But it also looks like they're going with the first level feat structure that they're introducing in the 2024 update. So pretty much the common thread I found throughout a lot of this document, there's a lot of similarities of what they're doing with the newer update. Obviously, what it seems like they're attempting to address a lot of issues people have had with 5e. But as we get into it, I'll show why I felt they didn't push far enough, or looks like they held back. So let me get into this. The first thing, it starts off with the cleric class. But before we get into it, what I wanted to actually go over was with the class structures. The class structures actually absolutely change. So they say this right here in. We're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in so you guys can see. Okay, so let me show you guys what they did. So they're doing exactly what they're doing in the 2024 update. You guys see this? So they made changes to the leveling structure. So divine domains in current 5e come in at level 1. Your cleric subclass comes in at level 1. They are pushing all subclasses to come in at 3rd level. So yeah, so they're doing exactly what the 2024 update is doing, is having a standardized level progression for all classes. All classes will get their subclasses at 3rd level. It is in this little section right here in the corner. So that is what they're doing. Not really surprised. But my feeling with this is if they were going to be different from Wizards, I really wish they would have pushed and actually had every class have their subclass at 1st level instead. I understand why they're doing it. It's mainly to capture casual players and to ease people into the class, and maybe even give classes a stronger, or attempt to give classes a stronger class identity at the front. Because obviously, for those unfamiliar with it, with 5e class structure, a class that has their subclass chosen at 1st level, the subclass has a lot more mechanical weight to the class and determines really what role they're intended to play, versus a class that gets their subclass at 3rd level, where their class has that dictates much more what they're supposed to be doing in combat and out of combat. So that is why they're doing it. For me, I definitely would have preferred subclasses at 1st level. A lot of the reason I would have preferred it at 1st level is the people probably picking this book up are not going to be the same people that pick up D&D 5e, whether it's the 2024 update or current 5e. They're not the same people. That is very much a casual crowd. The people that are going to pick this book up are the ones that don't want to deal with Wizards of the Coast anymore because of what happened with the OGL, and then strong arming the designer community, just pretty much strong arming the industry as a whole with their attempt to alter the terms of the OGL. So you're going to get those people that don't want to deal with Wizards, or you get another group of people that just are bored with 5e and want to try a different version of 5e, that are already invested. They don't like what Wizards is cooking up with 2024. They want to play something closer to what they currently like, just with some tweak. So meaning you have enfranchised players wanting to play 5e in some form. So for me, it would have been like just go the opposite way. Provide them options, allow them to pick subclasses at level 1. Every class, every person that's enfranchised, every person that knows how the system runs, and it would create their class from the get-go, or create their character, create their character with a subclass in mind. So why don't you just allow them to pick it? Just do it. Pick it from first level. And there's a lot more opportunity. Yes, it's another level of choice, but those picking there's a way to ease people into it. And especially if you're an enfranchised player, you already kind of know what you're getting yourself into. This is the market I've seen is what they're trying to hit. This book is not going to be able to compete with D&D, who can put themselves at Target, who can put themselves at Walmart. The average Joe can just go and pick up. Last time I went to Target, in the book section, you can buy a player's handbook. Go to the toy section where all the board games are, you can get a starter kit. The only other game I saw that actually did that, the other TTRPG that did that, it's not even Pathfinder, it was Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the reason it can be in a Target in the toy section or in the board game section, because it's Avatar: The Last Bender. It has this Nickelodeon money, like it. So the only other companies are going to be able to compete and put yourself in a big box store where casual people will go is that. But this game is not for casual people, so don't cater to that audience. You don't need to, But anyway, rant over with the subclasses. But I get why they're doing it. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. They don't need to do that. I really would have much seen them see subclasses at first level anyway. Indestructible Boy, what's going on, Taryn? 1DD isn't SRD or published. This is seriously wearing legal waters. 1DD is in dev. This sounds really shaky. Yeah. There is a lot of similarities to what they're doing with 1 D&D from what I've looked over. But there's also certain things where they just pull back on it. Mr. Zaval, look at the spells. It is verbatim the same. TOV is 5e. Look at each talent. They took the feats and copied it verbatim. Oh, that does not surprise me. Everything I've seen, what I've looked at, and when we get into, we're going to dive into the classes right now. It's just something that should be expected with this. So, I'll go, especially if they're marketing this as 5.5e. So I think there's definitely a mismatch of what the industry and community want out of a 5.5e or what they want as a D&D killer, whatever they want to label it, and what they're actually designing. So I don't think the people designing the game are gonna give the people the same game that that the community and the industry want. So there is that. So let's get into Cleric. So we can start seeing this. Okay, Cleric starts here. So the big thing with Cleric, the big changes, so we're gonna really just look at the changes, hold on, let me be easier so you guys are not covering. If you guys need me to zoom in on stuff, just let me know. I will zoom in for you. So the big thing I am seeing with the Cleric is that obviously their first level features are changing completely. Obviously, there is no more Divine Domain. You do not get your subclass. That is moved to 3rd level. So just like the 2024 version of D&D, where they proposed that change also, where they introduced a new feature. What Tales of the Valiant gives Clerics is the Manifestation of Faith feature. So, which is it is very similar to the 2nd level Holy Order feature in the 2024 Cleric. So, what Manifestation of Faith will do is allow players to choose whether they want to play a War Priest and live that War Priest fantasy, and they will pick up Manifest Might. This will give you what will it give you? Proficiency with heavy armor, martial weapons. You gain the ability to infuse your weapon strikes with divine energy once on each of your turns. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal additional radiant or necrotic damage equal to your proficiency bonus. So you get to live out that war cleric fantasy. And then you have the other option, which is Manifest Miracles, that pretty much lets you play White Mage. You get to play the Final Fantasy White Mage. You're going to be just casting spells, and you do additional damage equal to your proficiency bonus with your cleric cantrips. So a blaster or a frontliner, which is similar to what Holy Order does. Well, Holy Order gives you 3 different options at second level that gives you armor proficiencies, and I believe a set of skill options that you can go with, and then I believe a spell set option. So this is a feature I actually like. In general, I liked it with the 1D&D playtest. I like it here also, giving players more options to customize their character to fit their vision. I'm always gonna be in favor of that. Whether this is balanced or not, I don't. It just seems in general this there is a definite power bump with a lot of these features, because it's like they're just adding additional damage to a lot of stuff from what I've seen with all the classes. But this allows you to play the kind of cleric you want to play. What was the big problem with current clerics for 5e is that the subclass you chose determined the play style, even if you had a character fantasy where that same domain can facilitate a different kind of fantasy. So you have the light clerics, which are a blaster, but there is a war cleric-esque fantasy, or if you're like a sun god that has like a sun weapon, that you can't really play with that subclass. This allows you to do that. Excuse me. I'm drinking a drink right now. Went down the wrong pipe. Okay. So now with these changes, the players can play with the themes of a subclass while still having the freedom to fill the role or play out the fantasy they envision for the cleric, which I like. It's fine. The other change is going to come with Channel Divinity. So Channel Divinity makes a change to the turn undead with an attempt to make it get more table play. So Tales of the Valiant turn undead becomes turn the profane, which not just targets undead creatures, but now also targets fiends. So they add the feed creature type, which now allows clerics to push back against demons and devils, which is thematic, which is fine. But ultimately, I don't think this actually gives it more viability in play, because it is still going to be campaign specific just because they add in another creature type. So either you got to play some sort of a Ravenloft campaign or Descent into Avernus, something like that, or your DM's going to have to cater to make sure this is turned on a good portion of the time. This is slightly better than the current version for 5e, the current cleric, but the 2024 cleric has a secondary option that is consistently usable. So with the 2024 cleric, they have Divine Spark, which either provides a extra, like another healing ability, or a potential for extra damage. So, which is going to have more widespread use. This is still a niche, very table, very campaign dependent ability, which is unfortunate. Like they didn't. I don't feel like they accomplished exactly what they wanted to do. So for me, overall, the cleric really feels like it is caught between the two versions of WotC's clerics. It really is one to address the same criticism of the current 5e cleric, and it mostly succeeds, especially with just Manifestation of Faith, at least within the first 5 levels. We still don't know the rest of the other 15 levels. Manifestation of Faith offers players a playstyle choice at the expense of their subclass being delayed. And while I agree with Kobold Press that Channel Divinity needed an option that was consistent, adding the Fiend creature type to turn the Profane, I don't think accomplishes that. I would have liked if they would have added an additional option for you to that is a lot more consistent, that solidifies the fantasy and role that is intended for the cleric. Then just adding that extra creature type isn't going to do it. Also, I think the 2024 version of WotC's cleric option, while it's consistent, it's a little too much. Oh man, I really shouldn't cover this publicly. I don't want to do road stream. It's all good, man. It's all good. So yeah, cleric is okay. Like their version of cleric is fine. They made some agreeable changes that I like, mainly manifestation of faith. Just, subclasses in general for all classes coming in at third level. While I consider myself a martial main and mainly play martial, so I'm used to it. Just give me the subclasses at first level. Just please. Just let me like I don't build my characters around first level. Like I like the flavor, especially like certain classes are even like it makes much more sense that they have their subclass at first level. Obviously clerics, sorcerers, warlocks are the big three, but paladins easily can. And there's even explanations to do it for fighters, wizards, and monk and rogues. Like you can always just do that. But nope. So yeah, so that's cleric. I think it's cleric's okay. The cleric is fine. But there's already, like, you guys can already see there's a bit of a pattern that they are doing similar things to 2024, but not really going all the whole way. And this is just the first class. Now, let's go into fighter. So fighter, again, fighter gets probably the most upfront changes, I would say, out of all the classes. So instead of getting second wind at first level and a fighting style, they replace it with last stand and martial action. So what the hell are those features? It's on the next page. Fighter needed maneuvers. Yeah, they needed something. So last stand. What this feature is, it is a reaction-based recovery ability that will have you use your hit die to recover hit points when you fall under half your hit point maximum. So the only limit to this feature is the amount of hit die you have, which is unlike second wind, which is on I believe it's a short and long rest recovery. It's a one-time use, and then that's it. This one, you pretty much gauge how many hit die you're going to use as long as you fall under your hit point maximum. If you can justify early subclasses for cleric, you can justify for druids. I agree. Hold on. I'm seeing. Let me see if I can fix chat right now. You guys are a little cut off. Okay, nope. That's just this one. Let me go back to big. Let me, you guys can see a little better. And let me maybe. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Hope you guys can still read it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Almost let the screen crash. Everything froze. Okay. Woo. Got scary. Okay. So anyway, back to last stand. In general, I'm indifferent to it. It adds a level of kind of tracking to a conditional trigger, but at the same time, it makes hit die more active outside of short rest, and it also frees up your bonus action. So it's like you're kind of giving and taking. It's for me, it's not really an exciting feature. It's just a keep my character alive, but I think it also plays into the whack-a-mole esque problem that healing has in 5e. So not not too crazy about it, but also don't. I'm indifferent. Is the big thing. I'm very indifferent about it. Martial action, on the other hand, seems pretty cool. It seems pretty cool. So what this is, martial action replaces fighting style, but instead of giving you a static bonus like most fighting style options do, you gain you have several bonus action options to choose from based on the weapon you're wielding. So the options in general don't feel as dynamic as options presented in the weapon mastery system in the 2024 update, or what a battle master fighter can do in its current version of 5e. But the options add but what the options do is they add additional damage, with the exception of guard, which aims to potentially prevent damage. So for those that want to do more damage, do more numbers, this is pretty much what this is pretty much what martial action is going to be doing for you. It gives you a bonus action use that the fighter doesn't always have. The subclasses don't always give you that bonus action option. There's some fighter subclasses that you're pressing the attack button. That's it. Um, One thing I noticed though is that they're missing an option for single-handed melee weapon users. For those that want to play into that fencer, that duelist like character fantasy, they don't have an option for that. The closest thing you're going to get, and it seems like there's an expectation for you as a fighter that you're going to be either dual wielding two light weapons, using a shield, or they're going full on range, or try to hit like a truck with a two-handed weapon. That's it. So for those that like to play that duelist fantasy, it doesn't seem like they want that in the fighter class. I don't know why. It's perfectly fine there, unless they think that's what the rogues thing's supposed to be. But I don't agree with that. So what martial action, I see what it does is that it makes the fighter feel more active. And the thing is, you have every option here, every ability open to you, so you can with the understanding or the assumption that you're probably going to be switching weapons as you adventure. But I don't think that's going to be the thing you're going to be doing. Based off how you build your character, you're still going to be locked out of options. So if you're a strength-based fighter that either is going to go tank or unga bunga with a big two-hander, you're not going to be using aim with a ranged weapon because you don't have the dex for it. And then the same thing with two light weapons. You can go a strength build and do this, but you probably are going to go dex with this anyway, and you'll probably just use this. And if you need to go range, you'll have aim. So like what I'm seeing, what it wants to do is allow some flexibility. You have some sort of bonus action option that you can consistently be doing to add additional damage, or to give you some sort of feeling like you're being more active in play. But you're not going to be able to really be using this dependent on your build. Like you won't have access to that flexibility. So okay, am I remembering this wrong? But in 5e, can everyone use bonus action to attack with an offhand? Does this limit offhand attacks to only fighters in Tales of the Valiant? The way this reads, I am not sure how this reads, because the way I read this, as a bonus action, you attack with a second weapon, right? So, in my understanding, in 5e, anybody can attack with the weapon with a bonus action, as long as your first attack was made with a light weapon, right? But the way this reads, it's also as a bonus action, you attack with a second weapon once per turn after you take the attack action and attack with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand. You can make an attack with a different light melee weapon that you're holding in the other hand. So the way I'm reading this is that you have your regular base attack, and then you also have an additional attack, and plus your bonus action attack, meaning you can attack 3 times at least at first level. That's the way that like that's my understanding if it's written. Might not be the intention. I wonder if their intention is this as a bonus action you attack with a second weapon and that's it's hooked into this, but how it's formatted, it seems like you're getting 3 attack. Dual wielding rules, good question. Okay, come on. Nobody said you can dual wielding. No matches were found. There is no dual wielding. Oh, hold on. Maybe if I spelled it right. No. There's no dual wielding rules in here. At all. So dual. Let me just put dual. Dual. Nope. There is none. Nothing for under dual. When I put in the search. Okay. That's gonna be interesting. That's something I want to see if they're completely removing that and that's gonna be exclusive to fighter. I don't or fighter and maybe ranger. If they're really gonna be about allowing like that fantasy. Because that is also iconic to the ranger and iconic to some aspects of the rogue. So my last bit about the Valiant fighter is that I think it is a lot more active than both versions of the active in that you're using more of your action economy. Whether it makes a difference is a different story. I don't know if these features actually make much of a difference. You're just gonna feel you're doing more. Um, and that's mainly just because of what martial action provides you. Uh, I just don't know how much of an impact it really is gonna make your character feel tactical. I think guard is gonna be the closest thing to actually feeling tactical because it does cause disadvantage to attacks against you or an ally that's within 5 feet of you. But all the other ones, if you look at wind up and then aim, specifically just say you pretty much point out a person and the next time you hit them, you're gonna hit them harder. That's pretty much what both of them do. And then quick strike just allows you to make more attacks from what it looks like. So there isn't really it's not increasing any tactical play. It's just adding more damage to your attacks with guard being the exception, which is the only one I see that really provides any sort of tactical. But the weapon mastery system on the read at least feels like you're adding more tactical depth for marshals. Didn't actually get a chance to feel or see that in person when we actually my playgroup tested the 2024 update, just because the playtest we ran was not set up to be what you expect out of a basic 5e game. It was we were my buddy converted a 4e module that had us flying in the air. So yeah, we don't know if the weapon mastery stuff actually like was actually more tactical on read though. Looking through it feels that way. So um the last bit about the Valiant fighter, I think martial action is there to attempt to provide players with choice and the flexibility, but I don't believe you're really going to have that flexibility in being able to swap your weapons due to how you create your character. Unless they fundamentally change that Dex is no longer going to be the god stat. You're either going to be a strength based fighter, and you're either going to go shield, sword and shield, and maybe plus out a 2-hander, or you're going to be a bow and arrow Dex build with the option to go melee with 2 weapons. And even then, I think a dex build still edges out a strength build because you can just take guard, have a shield and a sword, go dex sword, then switch to bow and arrow, and you can have all the you have those options. Dex just wins out in this case. All right, so now let's move on to rogues. Let's move on to rogues. So, changes or differences for the rogue. There is none. The rogue is the rogue. They legitimately didn't do anything to the rogue. So, there's no changes. The rogue works like the rogue works. That's what you expect out of the rogue. It can still sneak attack on its off turn. It's a rogue. Rogue is perfect the way it is because that's what their mother tells them all the time. Like, that's just what it is. Expertise is there. You got your sneak attack. It still works like how it is now. Thieves can't. That's it. So yeah, there's no changes for the rogue. That's fine, and it makes sense. I think the thing with the rogue, the only ones that I saw that actually had legitimate issues with rogue were the optimizer combat math oriented part of the 5e community, because on paper it isn't up to par in terms of damage. Okay, but in general, rogue performs favorably in fulfilling the class fantasy and the narrative that people expect out of the rogue. So this is why there isn't really too many changes presented. Like, even if they made some weird changes on the expertise for the 2024 update, and in here they just made no changes. So it's just it made no changes, so that it is what it is. Which, and to be honest, I don't see why they needed to change it. It works. Rogue is probably our Arcane Trickster Rogue is probably the class I had the most fun playing, in pretty much in a lot of classes I played throughout 5e. And if they're gonna stick to a level progression that is similar to what they're doing in the update, where you're gonna actually have more active skills as you progress and level, or more active features, because there is a giant spread between the rogue's level progression for subclass features, right? I think it's like you get one at 3rd and you don't get another one till 9th, if I'm not mistaken, at least with current. So yeah. So yeah, rogue is perfect the way it is, according to them. No changes whatsoever. But then that brings us to wizard. Let's go to the wizard. So the wizard, on the other hand, does get some changes, but nothing as drastic as the 2024 update. The Tales of the Valiant version is a little bit in between both of them. I would say leaning more towards what we expect the wizard to be doing in current 5e. So the wizard subclass is going to come on at 3rd level. So in place of getting your wizard subclass at 2nd level, you're getting the magic sense feature at 2nd level that will have you sniff out other spellcasters' magical effects and magic items that are close by. It's pretty much detect magic as a feature, but also you can detect other spellcasters. That's pretty much what you're doing. It's in general harmless. It is, I think, a bit of a slight power buff for the wizard because they no longer need to waste spell slots on detect magic. So they kind of just have this in their pocket the whole time. It does allow them to be. They already can be active in like exploration and dungeoneering, but now they just don't have to really expend resources to do that. So that's for me. It's like it's vastly different from what they're doing with 1D&D, where they're, which I'll get into in a second. It's just it's very, very different. Pretty much what I'm seeing is what they want to do with this wizard is really stick a little bit closer to what you expect and what you're seeing with the current wizard with some minor tweaks to address the level progression. So the current 5 wizard doesn't have a 5th level feature, but Tales of the Valiants does. So while the 1D&D 2024 update is adding a create a spell fantasy within their wizard, this one's not doing that. It has this feature called rote learning, which allows you to take a first level spell that you know, and it's always prepared. Straightforward. You just have a first level spell prepared at all times. And that's pretty much it. You're not trying to create a spell like the other wizard. And nothing fancy. You just have a spell, a first level spell, at all times that you don't have to worry about it. It'll most likely to be your bread and butter attack or utility spell that you're always using. The only spells I can see this kind of just being like the one you're going to have on deck: shield, silvery barbs, if you really be that guy. You just always have it prepared. So, like I said, this new feature doesn't really attempt to fulfill a class fantasy like the newer updated wizard is attempting to do, or attempting to give the wizard in general. Um, so it does really give it makes you feel like it's familiar. It's the same. While the wizard is supposed to be the iconic arcane spellcaster for core fantasy games, Kobold Press doesn't really attempt to buck trends or really do anything different with the class, and for me, that makes it feel really flat. So, despite the wizard class having a reputation of being the most powerful, quote unquote, class in the game, just because it's a spell list, like due to its spell list. Um, for me, I've always felt, and I know I'm not alone in this, that the wizard lacks a class identity beyond a sheet of paper that just has a list of spells on them. Like if you look at current 5e wizard, it's just like you're a spell list, and that's it. And your subclasses do interact with certain spells, but that's pretty much really your mechanic is a sheet of paper on your character sheet that just writes your spell list out. So like it doesn't really feel like it's a feeling of fantasy, but it is, well, it's supposed to be like the fighter where it's the stock option, your vanilla option, like, oh, you want to cast spells, arcane spells, wizard. You want to be the guy that hits stuff, fighter. Yeah, and yeah, that's why it's a quote unquote the most powerful, because in reality, I think, yeah, I agree. The cleric is 5e is probably the most powerful class in the game. Tons of flexibility, can fulfill a number of roles. Like, it's good. What's going on, Evander? So yeah, so I don't really, yeah, their version of the wizard is like just adding a little bit on top of what the current wizard has. It isn't really doing anything too much. It feels very safe, very flat. Unlike what we saw with the most recent playtest material for 5e, for 1D&D, where the wizard was going through a whole fantasy throughout its leveling career to be able to create spells, which sounds cool, but I believe from what I've seen from other people, other creators commenting on it, that it is pretty busted right now. Yeah, the preview is on Kickstarter. You can get it. It is open to everybody. It is free. So yeah. So overall, my overall feelings about the class and what we've seen from the system. The question again, and people are going to be asking, will this be the proclaimed D&D 5e killer? And no, it's not. It is not. It shares too much of its DNA with 5e, and by doing so, if you see throughout this stream so far, throughout this hour, I've compared it, and it will continue to be locked in comparison with 5e, whether it's the current version or the 1D&D version. as a result of being so tied to the DNA of 5e. Um, that is reality. It is not going to be a D&D killer at all. But that doesn't mean I don't think Tales of the Valiant is a failure in what Kobold Press's goal is. So Kobold Press's goal is to set out to make it a 5.5e 5e adjacent product. Um, they're making slight changes to address issues with the system without really trying to overhaul the game. Um, I think it's more on the community and the industry wanting it to be a D&D 5e killer due to Wizards of the Coast attempting to strong arm creatives and the industry as a whole. That's pretty much what it is. They want somebody to take the giant down. Don't blame anybody. Wizard sucks. They Wizard Hasbro suck at this point, and they and that's what it is. Like, and see, I don't blame anybody for wanting a system to come along and just like eat at a good portion of Wizards market share. Um, but this is not what Tales of the Valiant is doing, and it's very obvious this is not what they're setting out to do. Even if some of their marketing seemed like it was very rebellious, like, and it is very much they released it too early from the playtest because they were trying to ride the wave of just generally the upset community and industry. But yeah, like we're saying, we've seen this kind of stuff already done before. We've seen it throughout 5e's lifespan already before all the OGL controversy happened. So it's not nothing new. Um, so for me, Tales of the Valiant isn't going to revolutionize or create really any new play experiences. Um, what I see that they're attempting to do is to create some sort of refuge for people that want something that's familiar, that are unhappy with Wizards of the Coast's corporate actions, or even just their design choices for what's coming in the 2024 update. Because there's people in general, they just don't like what Wizards is doing with how drastically they're changing and how they're attempting to sell one D&D as this backwards compatible game when it's very apparent that it's not. I will say Tales of the Valiant feels more backwards compatible than what Wizards is doing. The Wizard looks exactly what I expect the Wizard to do with a couple changes. Cleric probably had the most changes just to shuffle its subclass around, but even then it made a couple changes that I liked, and in general it just still does what I feel like Cleric should do. While what Wizards of the Coast is doing with their classes, like they're completely revamping, adding in new systems for marshals, classifying them in these small boxes that, while as a player and a human being, that it makes it sense. Oh, we're going to put all mages and arcane casters in a box. Makes sense. But if you're looking at from a design standpoint, while it's nice that you can put your classes in a box, there's other fantasies that they're not designing for, not willing to fulfill, that third party creators are doing that don't fit in those boxes. So for me, it's like for me personally, Luchador doesn't fit into any of the boxes that Wizard of the Coast has set for their classes. I could assume it might fit into Warrior, but I don't know how Monk is going to deal with a weapon mastery system at all, because they share a similarity in being an unarmed fighter. Where does that kind of fantasy get put into? Where do they fit into this neat little box? Because all these classes have to be shoehorned a overall overarching mechanic, and that's with 2024 one D&D update. With Tales of the Valiant, I can take the Luchador and just jump this in the game. I can take any of Terran's classes and just play this in Tales of the Valiant, and it'll work. You know, I can take any of Benjamin Hillsman's classes and just put this in Tales of the Valiant, and it will work. Ross Lizer, Heavy Arms, any third party creator, I can take their 5e and put this into this game. And while this will have some updates, some little things that's still familiar, and it's gonna really appeal for that kind of crowd. It's it's never gonna compete with 5e, D&D 5e. Wizards of the Coast is 5e, just because of that. What seeing is Terran is saying is like, yeah, um, it just feels like 5e without giving Wizards the money, and that's true. And that's for I think certain people that is enough. But I think the more enfranchised, the more invested you are in this space, this might not be the game you want. You're going to be looking out for other games because you want to have different experiences. You want to try out different systems to pick up different things, and maybe you want to become a designer. And the only way you're really going to get better at designing is actually looking at what other people are creating, how they're coming about doing certain things, how they're interpreting certain systems instead of just staying within 5e. It is a gonna be a wild rest of this year and next year to see what this does. Um, in general, though, I do hope that Tales of the Valiant does succeed. Um, that I do hope, like in the same way that Pathfinder was just pretty much 3.5e on its first edition, that it does become a major core fantasy option that players can flock to. But just also like Pathfinder, if Tales of the Valiant is successful enough to have and outgrow its original system and is ready for a second edition, I really hope that Kobold Press flexes its design chops or brings in designers to create something that is unique, that it can stand on its own and it can actually get out of D&D shadow and just be like, yeah, this is TOV. Like, this isn't just TOV 5e. That like this is TOV. Like, I can say that about Pathfinder second edition. It's like, oh, that's Pathfinder. Free League did more with Lord of the Rings 5e to shake up the system than this does. Um, but yeah, like there's other systems out there that just want to do their own thing, whether it's still a core fantasy game, or taking a smaller aspect of the fantasy genre and making it into an RPG. I like their attempt, but I hope they do good. But in my opinion, they seem to be going PF 1E when D&D 4E came out. Yeah, and I can see a lot of that. How the fighter look in this? Because I do worry about the martial and caster gap. To be honest, between the fighter and like the spellcasters, they're not going to address it. They're not going to address it. Wizards is not even addressing it. So you're still going to have that disparity unless they completely overhaul the spells in the game. You're still going to have that disparity. Do you have to back this to get the preview doc? No, you don't. I believe you could just go to the Kickstarter or go to me. Let me see the email. Let me go check my email real quick. So I might be wrong, but I don't believe you have to check. You don't have to back this. You can get the preview, but I could be wrong. I am on the press list for them. Press release. I would say go to talesofthevaliant.com and see if you can get it from there. If not, you should be able to download it. I know it may sound like a Laser Llama fanboy, but I think I may just stick with his alt classes because what I'm reading in Tales of the Valiant, the base martial classes don't really pique my interest. Yeah. In general, I think that is 5e strength and weakness. You have the ability to create a custom experience for you, but it does require work. And not everybody has the time, the expertise, or in general just wants to do that to play a game. And Wizards of the Coast doesn't support DMs with sufficient tools, or like not even just sufficient, just tools in general to really run games. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to look out the third party. Don't like third party third party. We're we're perfectly glad we're taking your money, but to provide those options. But what I think a lot of people are wanting now is like to get out of the D&D shadow and to provide other experiences and make sure that there's other tentpole games in the ecosystem that can be built for and created for, that people are going to have the right experience that they want to have when playing and hanging out. I think a lot of people get caught up with 5e and it's like they have to play 5e because that's what's there. I know designers say like they have to design for 5e despite not wanting to design for 5e because that's what everybody's playing. Everybody's buying for. Oh yeah. So in general, I wish Tales of the Valiant good luck. As someone who wants more games to succeed, like I'm not gonna fault them for it. Like what they're doing with this. Do I see myself playing Tales of the Valiant 5e? Honestly, I'm not even sure I'm going to be playing 5e in general. Like in a year or so, you know? Like I am venturing into other systems. My play group is at a point now where we're willing to play other systems. You know, we are playing Pathfinder Second Edition. We're having fun with it. We're just not sure how much fun we're having it. I know I've talked them into playing Vagabond and trying Vagabond out. So there is that. We're gonna try that. And then I'm gonna see if I can get them involved in Morkborg, and then see how I feel about Cypher System because I know I'm gonna be in Get Up Cypher System game on June 9th, I believe. Right? It's the 9th? Yes, it is the 9th. That's just it. That'll be like in 3 weeks. So yeah, there's just other systems. And my playgroup might just enjoy those other systems more. And the thing is, I like designing for 5e. There are class fantasies I don't see fulfilled that I know other people have attempted to try that I would like to get my hand and try also. But there's also more games out there than 5e, which is what I'm wanting to start to cover and discuss. I will say though, my DM's Guild sales plummeted post OGL snafu. Yeah, I will say I only have one product on the DM's Guild, but the Luchador sales did slow down. It did slow down. We're inching close to silver. Oh, that's kind of weird. I feel they didn't change things from the first set of playtests. I thought some of the stuff would change for the Kickstarter. Unfortunately, I didn't look at the playtest, so I can't speak to that. The reason I didn't look at the playtest is because most of the time the playtest stuff was coming out, I was away. I was on a break. I was getting married. I was on my honeymoon. I didn't even see most of the 2024 D&D 1 D&D updates too. I think like an update or two came out while I was in Japan. Didn't I think it was I don't know. I think it was the Druid. Didn't look at it. Let's go. Yeah, if I got some time too. So if you guys have specific questions or want me to pull up stuff, let me know. I will more than happy enough to do that for you guys. Let me see. Fighter 5th level feature. It is multi-attack. See. Okay. See. Multi-attack. Your physical prowess has grown. On your turn, you can make 2 attacks when you take the attack action. Oh, Japan trip. Oh, you got mine next year. Yeah, you're going to enjoy it. Expect a lot of walking. That's the only thing I think people should expect about Japan. There's a lot of stairs and a lot of walking. Excuse me. So that is the one thing I had to get used to. But I will also say about Japan is that there is never a bad meal there. Except McDonald's. Never mind. I can't say that. There is never a bad meal unless you go to McDonald's or any other American chain that's there. But you just go eat Japanese food there. There's never going to be a bad meal. I think McDonald's is the only one that legitimately hurt my stomach while I was there. But everything else, even places that were rated like 3 stars or whatever, they were amazing. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I ate so much ramen, and even too is like every ramen I had was like vastly different. It was awesome. The only one we kept going back to because it was actually like really close to our hotel was Ichiran, which is one of the bigger chains there, and that it is a tonkatsu ramen, pork broth ramen. That is super super good, super rich. You will want to take a nap afterwards. But it probably was not the best ramen I had in Japan. Okay, give me a sec. I'm gonna go take. I need to just run to the restroom real quick. What I want to do. I do want to look at. Um, what do I want to look at? Well, I want to look at the feats. So because I did not look at feats whatsoever. Is it talents? Talents, yeah. We'll look at talents. Look at talents. Give me a sec. I just need to run to the restroom. All right, we're back. When you come back, I'm curious if the credits list the lawyer or the legal consultants at all. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the front. Okay, so all we got is really up here at least. Pull back. Hold on. Let me go big. I don't know. I don't know why. Oh, okay, because it was muted. My stream deck's acting up. There we go. Okay, no, I went and looked. We have, yeah, there is no legal consultant here at all. Not at all. So yeah. None at all. A bit off topic, but I managed to cheese ROG and Simulator World 4 by using Sampo. I don't like the character, but man, is this kit good for Simulator Universe? So, yeah. For those that don't know, Evander and I have been playing Honkai Star Rail. It is by the folks behind, what is it, Genshin Impact. It is their sci-fi, pretty much waifu husbando JRPG esque, uh, pretty much gotcha game. It is super super fun. I had Sample was like one of the first characters I pulled. I thought he was gonna be good. I just didn't like his kit. And luckily, like not too far after I got Welt, so and Welt's been doing work. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing. If you guys want to see some other stuff, let me know in the chat. We'll look at it. Do want to see the talents? So talents are gonna be their version of feats. Yeah, so talents represent the specific way an adventurer has improved over the course of their adventures. Talents are divided into 3 categories: magic talents, martial talents, and technical talents. Your class is typically determines which talents list you have access to. Talents are gained in two main ways. Okay, so now it's not just one large pool of feats, that they're going to be locked behind classes too. Interesting. I can hear the Pinkertons gearing up already. Oh god, no. Okay, I don't know what's going on with chat. It is messing up completely. But I can see you guys, so don't worry. Um, if I had content for Honkai Star Rail, I definitely would be streaming it right now, but I don't. I am stuck right now until they actually release some story content. Okay, let's see. So they're gonna have like a group of magical talents. Interesting. So combat casting. You automatically succeed on con saves to maintain your concentration on a spell if the DC is equal to or lower than the number equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus. Okay. When a hostile creature provokes an opportunity attack from you, you can use your reaction to cast a countertrip instead of making a melee attack. You can use a shield or weapon you are holding as a spell casting focus. As normal, you can use the same hand or hands holding this focus to perform somatic spell components. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Oh no, this is the wrong thing. The funny part is, okay, that little talent is reminding me because I'm also working on a class, second class for that I'm intended to push out, which is the Dreadnought. And the thing is, Aaron and I were talking on last Sunday stream regarding one of the features, which is Dreadblow, which is regarding concentration and not, yeah, that's why that feature maybe remind me of it. So yeah, we're gonna be jumping back into Dreadnought design on Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream Friday. I know I wanted to do like an every other Friday like stream, but I need to do adult things on Friday. So I want to get a haircut. I need to actually get some stuff done. So I might not stream Friday. If I can break it in time, then I will. A Star Rail stream sounds fun. I guess the most can do now is stream Simulated Universe Forgotten Halls. But yeah, I think 1.1 comes out this month or next month. Let me check. On the 26th. Okay. Oh, comes out the 20. Comes out in 2 days. In 2 days. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Okay, go. I'll have it take up my screen. So yeah. Yeah, for sure. I know Final Fantasy 14 or not 14, Final Fantasy 16 comes out. I will definitely be playing that. For those that didn't see the PlayStation showcase today, Spider-Man looks sick as hell. I will be playing this. I do not care. It is I know it's not a fantasy game, but it's Spider-Man. Oh, sick. Yeah. Codes for resources, please. I am broke. All right, let's see what other magic talents they got. Let's see. Choose one of the following elemental damage types. So it's elemental savant, acid, lightning, fire, thunder. Then you cast a spell down. You convert the damage type of that spell to your chosen elemental damage type. You must decide to convert the damage spell when you declare your casting spell. Additionally, when you roll damage for that spell, naturally use your chosen elemental damage type, not a spell you convert. Interesting. Okay. This, in a way, allows them to create or allows people to play an elementalist without actually making dedicated classes and spells to fulfill the elementalist fantasy. I get it, but I honestly just wish they would just create like an elementalist subclass. Just let people be benders, man. As a Puerto Rican, I love seeing more Miles Morales, and as Spider-Man fan, I love seeing more Spider-Man content. Yeah, Miles is pretty much been one of my favorite new characters Marvel's created. Really, really like what they do with him. Kind of hoping with current Marvel comics, I don't know, man, rough. Unless you're X-Men fan, everything else is pretty rough. Uh, um, so I'm hoping they do more with him, and it seems like the Spider-Man game is gonna like take on aspects of Kraven's Last Hunt and the symbiote saga, while adding Miles in the mix of all that. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what they do with the story. And I obviously there's some illusion based off of some of the stuff from like this teaser stingers from the first game, as well as the trailer they had originally announced Spider-Man 2 for, where Venom's involved. Best hero is Batman. Changed my mind. Batman sucks. I'm kidding. I like Batman when it written by certain writers. Uh, Dragon's Dogma 2 was my highlight. That looked interesting. I never played the first one, but that's something I was kind of eyeing. I was like, actually looks pretty good. I gotta lie, I dig Elemental Savant, Lightning, Fireball, Here We Come, and Fire Magic Missile, and Flaming Sphere and Cold sounds fun too. Yeah, it's just a weird way like that you have to you have to do it in the system without actually creating more options that allow you to play that fantasy. It would seem like the easiest thing to do would just be to just create more spells of a certain type and create subclasses that do this and do other cool stuff like that allow you to play into those narratives. I would really like to see like like fire a fire blaster like subclass, ice bender subclass, stuff like that. Like I would just a geomancer. Saladin Ahmed's run with Miles Morales was strong. I heard that. Heard it was really strong. If you like Berserk and Shadow of the Colossus, it's basically those put together. I love Shadow of Colossus. That is a super fun game. Super fun game. God, this honestly just needs to be something to do for free. Yeah. Like this isn't the first time I've seen people like do this, but it is something that they have to patch this into the game just so I don't know. Like it frustrates me because it's a shortcut to like just not creating like actual class subclass options and more spells to play out those fantasies. I don't know. Let's see. Mental prowess ritual is your commitment to building or mental prowess. Honing your mental capabilities yields results. Increase your charisma, intelligence, wisdom ability score by 1. You can't raise an ability score above 20 in this way. Like this whole thing needed to be some sort of legally free 5e. They gotta pay for the art, man. They gotta pay for the art. Yeah, like yeah, and that's why it's for like when I read this, I legitimately don't think it's for me or people like us. I I'm not the audience for this. Well, I get you, so don't have art. That's true. Yeah. And for me, like this doesn't seem like yeah, like this just isn't for me. Like it's not the more I look at it, the more like, okay, they have some interesting ideas, I guess. But it doesn't it doesn't push 5e in a different direction or in enough of its own identity to make it really stand out. I don't but again, I don't really think they wanted that either, so they succeed at that. Like they're not gonna be its own thing. It is 5e. But at the same time, for those of us that have been in franchise for a while that do want more or want something new, something different, this was an opportunity to do that. I was expecting this to be like level up 5e by Ian World. Yeah, I've heard of that. I haven't dived into that. Maybe I should look into that. Um, but didn't like Ian's World like level up 5e just completely like overhaul systems? The fact that they're trying to sell this as original work is just hilarious. It's legally defendable piracy. Black flag for a reason, man. Yeah, experienced players won't stick with it because it's not different enough. New players won't get into it because it doesn't have the name recognition. I'd love to see them succeed, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that this is the weird spot it's in. It's in a tough spot, but like I don't know. I think because like the thing is it did fun in 30 minutes. Like it has the people there is a audience that will play this. So like that's not for nothing. Like part of it could be like it's just funded because it is Kobold Press. It has a dedicated fan base, and so on, and that's fine. But the more I look at this, the more I see it. It's just not for me. Like this is just not this version of 5e is not for me. The one I have to where's give me a sec. I gotta look behind bookcase. The one system that is 5e adjacent that is completely like a rework. Really, at least the character portion of the game is a full rework. Is Those Who Wander that I picked up. How you create characters on there, and there's no class system at all. It is just a branching tree to really customize the kind of character you want to play. It's vastly different. It still has identity of 5e built into it, but how you interact with the game is vastly different. And it's for me like that is more appealing and more exciting. as somebody who originally started as a character building channel, seeing that level of change in how character building is while still having the core of the system still operate is a lot more interesting to me and different and unique than, oh, say like Tales of the Valiant, where it is 5e. Like I, I would be more excited to play that than this. Yeah, I personally don't know, Emitter. The question was, what does this do that level up 5e doesn't? I heard level up 5e is good. Need to check it and gives more complexity for experienced players. I've only heard about it, have not checked it out, picked it up. Oh god, this might make money and seem like a good idea, but so did asbestos. Asbestos. Oh god. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, because I have a couple of actually I have a couple of books from Kobold Press. Look behind me. What do I do have? I have. They're in the other section. I have Tome of Heroes, Tome of Beasts, Creature Codex, and Midgard Heroes Handbook. I have all those 4 books for them. The only ones I've legitimately have used for 5e games have been the monster books. Yeah. Yeah, and then in terms of like the player character options, part of the reason I haven't actually used them the for the Midgard book, the reason I didn't use them, part of it was they feel a bit underpowered. And especially at the time, I believe I picked up that book, Xanathar's had just dropped. So I was like, well, I'll go play with all the new Xanathar toys. And now, like when Tasha's came out, I was like, of course, I'm not really gonna look back at looking at like those options. Like there was other games that we were playing, 5e games that we were playing at the time too. It was like I found an official option. Now if I were to go back to 5e and play something different, I probably still wouldn't use the Kobold Press player option books. Like the Tome of Heroes has some cool ideas, but that's a lot of it. What it is, it's a lot of cool ideas, but some of them really feel underpowered compared to official options. If I really wanted to play something like a third party subclass or even class, I also have Ultimate Adventures Handbook that has a bunch of badass options in there that are for me that feel are on par or balanced for a 5e game. Midgard, I don't know if anyone who actually uses it. I got it early on when I was barely getting into 5e, just because I was like, oh, more character options. And at the time, Wizards hadn't put out more character options. I think the only book that came out that had like more subclasses was Sword Coast Adventures Guide. So I was like, oh, here's another third party book that had subclasses. I'll buy that. And then Zanny came out. Is their setting any good? Just curious. I honestly I don't know. I heard it people like it, but uh fantasy settings all kind of bleed together to me for me. So a lot of stuff is just reflavored Tolkien esque fantasy with a slight twist, taking a influence here, influence there from another thing. But that's why, like when it comes to actual fantasy settings, I'm That's not my cup of tea. I prefer um uh, pretty much non-classical fantasy settings. I like stuff more along the lines of like Eberron. I started writing a 5e rework yesterday out of spite for how lazy TOV feels. Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm like talking down on this. It just is my like impression of this. It's what it is. Like you're playing 5e with the D&D file rubbed off. You know. So yeah, that is Tales of the Valiant. That's what it is. I'm going to give this piece of advice to any aspiring designer looking to get into the TTRPG space. Don't invest money in making a 5e heartbreaker. Yes, this is financial advice. Yeah. Yeah, I think in general, just good advice for designing period, like general designing period. You don't design if you're gonna put something out there to mass market. Obviously, you want to design something you would play, but also design something that's not really out there, or somebody's not doing it in that way. I'm working with revamping my setting with some people going for a Magic Tech Crystal Punk medieval fantasy setting with JRPG influence. Interesting. For me, like the longest time for a actual setting I wanted to play was like a cyberpunk as Final Fantasy VII setting. Let's see what we got. Do we have do we have some resources? I might do some Honkai right now. Do we have enough resources to run stuff? And we will show the game. Yeah. For me, like when it comes to the actual landscape, as somebody who's kind of entering does like pretty much I feel and still consider myself a very novice designer. I'm looking at what is potentially gonna the landscape's gonna be for 5e content coming into like especially next year. As much as I would like that there is going to be a split in the audience where some are going to take up the newer game and then others will go and continue to play 2014 classic 5e, I guess is the way we can call it, classic 5e. I don't see influencers and the general audience not moving away from D&D 5e. Especially how kind of content on YouTube's been lately. You have people attempting to really break away from Wizards, but then some people it's just business as usual. I don't fault them for that, especially those that are making money off, like need to make money, put food on the table. But at the same time, it is going to be a struggle for folks to really break away from 5e if that's their bread and butter. Please tell me I have resources to actually do stuff in this game. Please. As you can tell with the names we're getting in the Cypher one shot, where everyone is willing to try new systems these days. Yeah. And especially with guys like Bob World Builder and then Ted from Nerd Immersion, who have a vastly large audience. It is good on their part that they're exposing people to these new systems. Like, that's the one thing. It really is going to take like major influencers in the space to really like push the audience. Okay, do we? Okay. Okay, we don't have enough for a simulated universe. I don't know how long it's gonna be for another 10. Okay, we're gonna try. So we'll do a Forgotten Halls. Maybe we can do something. Yeah, and I'm super looking forward to playing in your Cypher system game. I'm definitely I'm looking forward. I really want to play Brick House, be the big old tanky dude. Yep, I got Japard. The thing is, like, in terms of tankiness, my Fire MC is a lot more tanky than Japard. Let's see. What do I need? What do I need here? Okay. 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 We can go this for the team 1. I have Bailu. I just need to get her to cap, but got no resources, man. I'm broke. Okay. I said on Cyberpunk because it's different, but not too different. But I almost used the First Responders book and would have played like Cocaine Bear, but I thought that might be a bit too much. Oh, that would have been funny, but yeah, Cyberpunk would definitely is a lot easier for me to get into in the mindset. Yeah. Well, the other Cocaine Bear would have been funny. Okay, we need here. Okay, we know. Boom, boom. Okay, this is this team here. We know this is all rocking. We need to be able to kill like as fast as possible. So I'm thinking. Well, here, what other? I actually wish I had Bronya. Bronya would probably be my like main support character if I pulled her. But unfortunately, like, I pulled a lot of other good support characters. All right. So for those not familiar with Honkai Star Rail, it is a JRPG-esque
enemy ahead
gacha game.
Harm in trying.
That you have to invest in time. It is free to play, but obviously with any gacha game you can invest money, but you don't have to. It is not really pay to win. You get access to a lot of tickets or pools that eventually over time you're guaranteed characters, and you also get free characters that don't suck. That actually generally are actually pretty good. A lot of the characters I'm using are still free to play characters. I actually never played Genshin, but actually the thing is I really enjoyed this game because of the JRPG-esque gameplay. This turn-based gameplay really works for me. I think Genshin being like a Breath of the Wild type game where you explore a lot isn't something I can invest my time into. Not Pay to Win has the only imaginary character in the game. I didn't pay for him though. I got lucky. I got lucky.
Let's begin.
Naughty child.
Yeah, but other people, like, they pulled Sela. They pulled a lot of, like, the really good characters.
Never falters.
But if you pretty much if you're into like the waifu husbando aesthetic, this game's gonna appeal to you. I'm personally don't really care for really any of that. I and generally like the gameplay for this. For those that like to optimize and like do really character strategies and tactics, there's a lot of that in here to really pretty much scratch that itch.
There is no other choice.
So like these right here are character weaknesses that the enemy has. So certain characters have certain elements attached to them. And even then for further customization, characters have weapons. They also have sets of armor that add more customizability into your character. Each armor is part of a set. Can you please define to an idiot like me what is a JRPG like TTRPG? JRPG stands for Japanese role-playing game, because it is a style of RPG that is vastly different from American RPGs. It is turn-based systems and pretty much turn-based systems and character-driven narrative is the hallmark of JRPGs. Not so much anymore, but that is what they traditionally used to be. On top of, being from Japan. I believe JRPG as a term is actually fallen out of favor. And criticism from those in Japan just wanting to be seen as RPG games. But yeah, it's pretty much the cornerstone. Most American or most Western RPG games are not character driven in the same way as a JRPG is.
In the name of Landau. The will forged in ice never falters.
Well, Bronya Sela, yeah, that is a beast of a team.
Leave it to me.
So, camera kill. So the problem with this boss fight is that you have to, in order to actually open up her weaknesses so you can kill her faster, you have to. We're just gonna use this. I'm too afraid to keep Chapart alive.
Hope you're prepared.
Yeah, to kill her faster, you have to kill her. What's it called? Her henchman that she can summon. Please don't summon another one. Just shoot her. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, well, it's a beast, man. Like,
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
if I can beat this, I'll whether win or lose. What I will do, I will show you my setup with the characters.
Let's begin.
Okay. Okay. Because yeah, this game has given me enough tools for Welt, and like the support for him that it's very obvious the game wants me to use him.
This ends here.
In terms of strategy, though, like
Leave it to me.
Welt or not, Natasha and Bailu, I believe they say are pretty competitive with each other. Bailu obviously has the resurrection ability, but Natasha has status effect cleansing. So that's pretty much your trade-off.
Is that all? at all.
In the name of Lend,
A will forged in ice never falters. Stand down.
Naughty child.
You know nothing of survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
I don't think we're gonna beat any of the challenges. We definitely could beat this though.
This ends here.
Definitely could beat this. Like, believe you need to beat it within like 12. With only 12 rounds left and 18 rounds left. These characters are not at a high enough level to actually do that yet, which is unfortunate.
I commend.
Okay, we're just gonna
This will
juice.
strengthen our position.
So we still have the potential to lose here because this fight is not fun.
Cool it.
Okay, so genuine, let's go.
Welcome, customers.
That is the same light cone I use for moles or for hook.
1,000 wonders to rate.
The same exact one.
A foregone conflict is pitiless.
Let's juice up.
It's time.
Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay. Get rid of this. Okay.
Lance ablaze. Lance.
So this fight can get really, really tough because robot guy over here can just auto well summon a what's it called?
The truth
Summon a hand, a giant master hand,
is but a vision.
and just lock down one of your characters.
Here is thunder.
Not a scratch.
Okay. Oh, dang it. Not good. Okay. Trying to get a taunt going on, but
Welcome, customers.
unfortunately. Let's stun her. Let's stun him.
Foregone conclusion. Conflict is pitiless.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I pulled Clara because in reality you're just getting Srog.
Fighting is meaningless.
Alright, let's free our mans.
Pay for that. 1,000 wonders to
Where
raise
we gonna
your
go?
spirit.
Might as well.
Fight is fun.
I've no interest in conflict.
Okay. What we need is we'll just pop all these
Time for the
ults.
master. Show no mercy.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision.
Pop all these ults. Ooh.
My charge.
Ooh.
Let's be friends.
Okay, in reality, no, we need to
It's time.
yeah. Let's get
Lance ablaze.
our tank to actually start taunting.
Forward.
Since we don't have a healer on this team. Gotta wait them orders. Hey, cheater. Oh no, this is not looking hot.
There's no time to lose. Here
Not looking
is
good.
thunder.
I'm on guard.
Not looking good.
Not a scratch.
This dude is straight up cheating. You're taunted, my man.
The truth of life and death.
You are taunted.
The sanctuary is but a vision.
So we might not beat
There's no
this,
time
to
to
be
lose.
honest. Yeah, Lightning Ore is struggling right now. Okay,
Too late
okay,
to
okay.
repent.
Dude.
1,000 wonders to
What is... This dude cheating. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, my God. No.
Show no mercy.
Might lose this one.
Conflict is pitiless.
Lance ablaze. Lance!
Forward.
Okay, we got some good damage.
A foregone conclusion. Here is thunder.
A lot of Genuine's damage actually comes from the follow-up attack,
Let's be friends.
from what I noticed.
Lance at the ready.
Okay. Okay, we might be able to pull this off. Okay, it depends on who he's... Okay, no. Oh. Oh, nope. Okay.
Welcome, customers.
We might... We're gonna pull... No. We're gonna do it? Okay, we pulled it off. Oh, we pulled it off. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, we won. That was a hard win. Okay, so... Let's see. I wonder what the element the Hunt MC will be. I know that there's leaks out there. Te cagaste, bro. No, hey, man, we won. Doesn't matter how the win happens. We won. I don't know. Actually, let me see. I did send it to my buddy. Where's okay. Okay. We are officially a Honkai Star Rail stream, but excuse me. So these are all the leaked unreleased characters that have leaked out. Fire, the Trailblazer Hunt version has yet to actually have their thing shown. So, but yeah. Oh, I hope nobody is invested in the story because there's some really crazy stuff that's over here. Dan Hung. Looking a little dragony over there. But yeah, they're not in the order of they are going to be released in, though. That's the thing I did notice. Because they are already promoting Blade, which is this guy right here. You're now being targeted by CCP. Then they need to take down the Reddit, my mans. But yeah, Blade is getting promoted right now, and Kafka is too. So those are characters coming out, and I know Silverwolf and Luocha are also going to be released soon. I don't know if I want any of them, and I don't have the materials to get them. So, okay. So in terms of setup, this is what I'm using for him right now. It's not even fully leveled up. It's pretty much all I have for Japard. In reality, there's two other light cones weapons that are better for him, but at least I got the traces up, and this is what I'm working with right now. He really wants to have defense up. Not my strongest tank, and then also I don't have any eidolons for him because he is a 5-star. Natasha, on the other hand, bam bam bam, just kept getting them. Have Bailu's weapon or her light cone, but it's also really great for Natasha. And I also have the relics for her. So Natasha is my ace in the hole. She can pretty much take the place of a tank in any party. What I'm seeing in a lot of like theory crafting, at least, is that you either want a shielder tank or a healer. Some builds require both. But depending on how strong your supports are and your DPS, having a tank and a healer together isn't always required. I think I have We Are Wildfire. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I have We. Oh, here it is. We Are Wildfire. Yeah. So I can try Wheel Wildfire and see if I like it more. I know that was another suggested light cone for him. This light cone actually is not good for Ting Young. But yeah, here typical waifu furry character. I'm not even sure this is the right stuff for her, but I got 2 eidolons for her. Yeah. Then we got Dan Hong. Is I still need to finish this one. Then we can go. Yeah, he's a little strong relic, and these aren't even the correct relics for him. In reality, you want the wind relics for him to boost his overall damage. Fire MC, on the other hand, is stacked. Got as many relics as I can. Missing 1 more, which will probably come from the story. Really, I have pretty much the relic set up for him. Traces, he's all traced out until we level. And then Texture of Memories is the preferred light cone for the Fire MC in a lot of builds I've seen. So yeah, that is that one. Fire MC is it's pretty much one of my better characters. And then Welt, my man over here, pulled his weapon. This light cone is actually probably one of the best Nihility light cones to have. So it's not just like geared towards him, but if you have another Nihility character that's damage dealer like Sampo, this is also really strong for him. So something to consider if you can pull this. Texture of Memories you can get in the simulated universe. You can get that there. Let's see, we got Welt, traces all locked. Got his preferred. Yeah, I got everything preferred for him. I just need to level this stuff up, and he's good to go. I'm pretty sure I should probably go re-roll and try to get like 5-star relics for him and get the correct stuff, but I'm just happy he has the weapons. All right, let's see what else we got character-wise. Jing Yuan. Unfortunately, I do not have his weapon, but second breakfast or series of breakfast is really, really solid for him. We slowly got everything. We're working. Okay, I have his student Young King. This is not a light cone. Is kind of a whack because once they get hit, the buff turns off. So this is not a really good light cone. And yeah, I'm still working on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish him, to be honest. Pela, I'm still trying to finish her off. She's supposed to be a really good unit. That lowers defenses down. I just haven't found a really good team for her yet. Yeah, Young King's fun. It's just in terms of like actual options, he's the lower one on the totem pole, either until I can get a better light cone for him, or I actually need ice damage output. Because for ice damage, Pela and Japard are normally okay to work with. Asta. It's pretty solid. She pair her a lot with Welt for team speed. He slows enemies down, and she speeds everybody up. So you get more turns. Excuse me, you get more turns than the other team. So The team I'm experimenting with, Weld Asta, is along with Natasha and Jinyuan, because Jinyuan's follow up also gets sped up, so you're going to be doing a lot more damage with him. Welt does damage, and then you have Natasha just pulling up the rear and healing them all. Potentially could just replace with Bailu, but we'll see. I've been finding that Natasha's damage type and her ability to get rid of status effects has come a lot more in handy. And my characters tend to not get in a position where they die a lot, unless it's super hard challenges. So that might be something like Bailu might come in clutch. Working on Sushang. Do not like this light cone. I do have better light cone. Don't have a better active light cone for her. Well, maybe darting arrow, but yeah, I need to get something for her. Arlen's good. Arlen's cool. I used him a lot during the beginning. Yeah, see. Hook is a really fun character. I have the Moles Welcome You for her also. Traces, Lockdown, Fire Gear for her, and 2 Eidolons. Or, yeah, 2 Eidolons for her. Hook, or not Hook, Arlen I was using for quite some time. He's definitely a solid character. This is also a good light cone too. Increases the wearer's attack damage by 10, increases damage to enemies affected with a burn or bleed by 10%. I don't know if it's good for Arlen. This is another Wolf Walk Time is really good for what's it called? Hook too. So this is supposed to be Secret Vows, also supposed to be his light cone. But I really stopped like working on him. Nice. Bailu. Haven't really worked on her. Slowly leveling her up so I can have another healing option. But yeah, it's gonna be a slow grind. Characters I don't work on: March, Sampo, Inkwe, Serval, and Herda. Just don't work on them at all. All right, can we do a sim universe? No, we cannot. Cannot do a sim universe. I don't think we're gonna be able to do one today. What can we do? What can we do? Dude, that's also a problem. Like, I want to do a sim universe. See what we can pull off. I need 4 more, but I don't think I have time to echo war. Gotta wait for next week. So hold on. Let's see what kind of like ascension material we're gonna need for our main team. We're definitely gonna send Conquers a Will. Ooh, bruh. We're gonna need. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. We're gonna be grinding, man. Oh no. All right. We definitely are not gonna be ascending anytime soon. Okay, let's. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Oh, we need to go get Shadow. We can run this for her, but I don't think it's gonna give us the. I don't think it's gonna give us enough to level her. Who we got? Who do we got? Run this team. What's the level on this? Oh no, not gonna matter. Please.
I'm with you. Seize the initiative.
Found.
Hold on. Screw it. We're gonna end the stream with this fight.
We're in trouble now.
Those who attack the Guardian are gonna be punished. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna use my buddy's CeeLo. Because this character is absurd. Like that's not even fair.
Hope you're prepared. Is that all?
That's not even fair, man. Skill punishment.
A will forged in ice never falters.
Alright, we're gonna see.
This ends here.
Disappear among the sea of
This might already be
butterflies.
over.
Illusions of the past.
Boom. Oh, wow. Okay. We got exactly the amount we need. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna level Bailu. Okay, sick. Okay, well, we're not worried what we're doing. All right, I know I don't got. Oh yeah, that's what we're working with. We got level 1. Okay, well, what's going on, Nick? All right, we're just playing some Honkai Star Rail. Before I wrap it up for the night. Okay, we got a pool. Oh, press the wrong thing. Okay, we got a pool. Let me see. Okay, no, that's not what I want to click anywhere to see a blank area view detail. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't want. I'm gonna wrap it up. No, what I want to see. Oh, let me see view detail. Here we go. Oh, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. What I want to do is, because you're guaranteed after a certain amount. I don't think I'm close to pity here. I'm at 134. So out of every 90 warps, there's a guarantee. So 90, 18. Oh yeah, we are very far away. All right. We're very far away. Let's see if we can pull a purple at least. I doubt it. We've been pulling nothing but blues lately. It's most likely what's going to be here too. Oh, we got a purple. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Oh my god. E3. Hook. E3? Here we go. Boom. Yeah, I ain't mad at this. Skill level 2 plus 2 up to maximum level 15. Basic attack level 1 up to maximum of level 10. Yeah, pretty good. Not bad. That is actually really good. Let's see what else. We also got. Let's go to the store. We got some point. Okay. Can we buy? No, we can't. E3. Yeah, Hook's been like one of my favorite characters. One of the characters I wish I would have been able to pull was Clara. Clara was. This is a really solid character too. Because and really, it's just Zrog. Okay, I'm broke. I don't really have anything. Ooh. You know what? Hold on. It is. What the heck? Oh, that's a food stall. Okay, there. I know I didn't complete all the challenges in this area. Rivet Town. Oh, then they still remain restricted. Yeah, like yeah, Srog is Robo Dad. He's pulling all that Mandalorian energy. Okay, I know we might need to switch teams for this. Okay. We need to finish the battle within 20 turns. Oh, snap. Okay, so they want Genuine. So this is what this says. Got the electric type unlocked. I pretty much... Okay. We can maybe try this team out. This is the experimental team, but we needed fire, physical, and what was the other stuff? Fire, physical, electric, and then we can either... We don't have quantum. Okay, we'll try this team. We'll try this team. We're just trying to see if we can get like another 10. Recommended 10. Okay. So pretty much we gotta find the boss. And then we can actually... Pinkway is fun, not gonna lie. I don't got the mats. I don't got the mats to level up another character. Okay. Okay, what we need to do is to gun it. Yeah. Like, I definitely could have pushed for, what's it called? What's her name? For Sela? If I was really intended, like, on getting her. Well, I really like, Genuine. Sela fits into more team comp. And you can actually do really, like, crazy team compositions for her, because since whenever she kills an enemy, she can attack again. You can get like some really crazy setups, and she can do more on her own, which opens you up to running like a double support and a healer or tank comp. Okay, what I'm trying to do... Oh, I got to defeat all the enemies and... Oh, okay. Never mind. So what we're going to do is... Okay. Can they all be linked together? I want to fight them all. Here we go. Yeah. That's my biggest gripe for this game. It is mad hungry.
Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless. Here, this thunder.
Naughty child.
All right, let's go. I don't know if we have the
Just
comp for this, to be honest.
think nothing of it. Saving me won't earn you any favors.
Trifling.
No manners, huh? Who will it be? Everything is worth. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
My team goes first.
You know nothing of the way. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Oh my god.
Huh?
Leave it to me.
Oh lordy.
Time to lose. Conflict is pitiless.
Time for a shot.
Oh lordy.
Who invited you?
Time for some hardship.
Now,
Boom. Okay. Do. Almost.
no manners, huh? Everything is worth. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
My team gets a whole turn before you.
Huh?
Let's begin. Follow my charge. Here, this thunder.
Naughty child.
Okay, we need to heal our mans.
1,000 thanks.
I'm okay. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Show no mercy.
Yeah, these judge ladies are a pain. Yeah, I might not have the comp for it from what it looks like.
Time for a shot.
Nothing of the survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
It's taking a little too long to kill a lot of stuff. For these guys.
Who will it be?
There's no time to lose. Let's begin.
Okay.
Stand down.
Time for a shot. Nap time. Who invited you? Everything is ordained. Oh, stars.
Yeah,
give
see,
these
we're already
trailblazers
on
your blessing.
Follow my
13.
charge. Conflict is pitiless. Time for some hardship.
No manners, huh? Who will it
Oh
be?
shoot, press the wrong button. Needed him to be able to.
Naughty nap time. Who invited?
Yeah, I think.
There's no time to lose. Here, this thunder. Stand down.
I think
No manners, huh? Who will it be?
what we needed was. Oh god.
Let's begin.
Everything is ordained. Oh, stars.
Probably needed a
give
different
these
team for
trailblazers
this.
your blessing. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Saving me won't
Leave
earn
it
you
to
any
me.
favors.
You know nothing of the survive.
Trying
or
to
be
think what
destroyed. There
kind
is
of ran.
no
I probably
choice.
could have ran hook.
Who invited? That'll take nap time.
Show no mercy.
Huh? Time for a shot.
There's no time to lose. Conflict is pitiless.
Jesus. Just die, lady. I have to beat this in 20 turns. I don't think I'm
Stars
doing
will
it.
always remember us.
To be honest, I don't think that's happening. Okay. Yeah, because we have to beat all 10 enemies within that 10. So, or within this 20-minute or 20 turn limit. Let's see, I believe. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. You shoot, freaking wish, man. Okay. We're gonna lock ourselves in.
Stay. I commend.
Boom. Boom.
Time to get vigilant. Who will it be?
Let's begin. Hut. Here is thunder.
Nap time.
Do-do-do-do-do-doom. Yeah.
I'm fine. Survive or be destroyed.
Yep. See, we already have 9
There's
turns
no
left.
choice.
Ugh.
Just a little.
Picked the
something.
wrong
Think nothing
team.
of it.
Okay.
Everything is ordained by the stars. Stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Leave it to me. Stand down. Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless.
Yeah. Some of this challenges are like I don't understand how they expect you to do it. The one shot, pretty much just like really just a one shot a bunch of enemies.
I'm fine.
Maybe
Who will it be?
when I hit the last
Time for some hardship.
level.
There's no time to lose. Here, this thunder.
Naughty child. That's better.
Maybe if I hit the
Saving
last
me won't
level,
earn you any favors.
that might be the thing. Oh, that's easy. Just wail. To some extent, like wailing is not gonna do it though.
Everything is ordained. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Oh,
Time for a shot.
1,000 thanks. Trifling. That won't stop me.
cheaters, man.
Just a little.
Cheaters.
Think nothing of it. Saving me won't earn you any favors.
Let's begin.
Naughty
You
child.
know nothing. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Time for a shot.
All right, Daryl, you have a good one, man. I will talk to you tomorrow
No man,
on the
huh?
Discords. I want a pom-pom plush. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be interested in to see, like what kind of merch they do actually come out with for this game. When I went to Japan, I'm not the biggest weeb, so
That'll take more than medicine.
Time.
I didn't really like bring back too much of anything. I brought back my Gurren Lagann figure. That's pretty much the only thing I really brought back. But we went to a ton of anime stores. I didn't really find any like Super Sentai stuff I really enjoyed.
Who invited you?
But now, like, if we go back, since I am into this game, because there was tons of Genshin stuff everywhere, so I'm wondering if there's gonna be
Everything is ordained by the stars.
some
Give these
Honkai.
trailblazers your
Love to pick up some Honkai figures.
Just a
Get my
little
team.
something. Think nothing of it. Saving me won't
Let's
earn
begin.
you any favors.
Stand down. Conflict is pitiless.
Nap time.
No. Don't. Kamen Rider's like super hit and miss for me, to be honest. But Super Sentai, pretty much Japanese Power Rangers. I haven't seen any of the new stuff. I just on Twitch there's Takatsu Factory or Takatsu, and they rerun with subs on their old Super Sentai stuff.
Seems I've been waiting a while.
The series that eventually became Power Rangers, they like to rerun a lot. Then they became Power Rangers Zeo, Turbo, and Time Force. Also got reran a lot. I actually really like Zoo Ranger, which is what became Mighty Morphin, a lot. The storyline on that one's actually pretty cool. Also, the one Kamen Rider I did enjoy was Kuga. That was not bad. Yeah, I'll link it. I definitely will link it. Okay. Yeah, Power Rangers. Or yeah, Kamen Rider Kuga was pretty good. It's definitely different. Bro, I'm gonna get across. I'm already on like turn like 5. Friggin' turn 5, and we've only killed 4 enemies.
Who invited you?
Show no mercy.
No manners, huh? Who will it be?
Conflict is pitiless.
Time for a shot. Nap time. Everything is ridiculous. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
A foregone conclusion. Let's begin.
Not each other.
Okay. Oh my god, no.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Who invited you? Who will it
I
be?
wonder if I could have just did like a full-on fire team, to be honest.
Stand
This-
down.
It would have been
There's
funny.
no time to lose. Here, this thunder. Show no mercy.
Everything is ridiculous. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing. Time for a shot. No.
Yeah,
No
that's the.
manners, huh?
Honestly, I just want more stuff to do. I legitimately want more stuff to do.
The stars will
More ways to
always
earn mats,
remember.
just more. I'm hoping they add more like co-op kind of stuff in the game too. Like that'd be sick if they have like a raid system where you take one of your characters and your like 3 other people can join you and you do like a Pokemon like they do in Pokemon right now. That team raid system. That'd be a fun
Naughty child.
co-op system they can add into the game. Very easy. More than anything though, they probably will just add a PvP system.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Who invited you?
A foregone conclusion.
Okay, we didn't finish this challenge.
The stars will always remember.
We don't
us.
get anything if we complete this. Fortunately, we need to beat this in 20 turns. So, we'll try this again. How far am I away from leveling? We are less than a... Oh my Jesus. Do we have anything? Okay. Oh, that's only 50. Ooh. Let me do some math. Let me do some math. Okay. Where are we at? I don't think that's enough. That's. Oh, we'll be 20% short. We'll be like 20 points short, shy. We'll be 20 points shy. Oh, gotta. Dang. I wanted to see if we can hit it tonight. Click it again. All right. Deleted it. I legitimately don't think there's anything for me to really do. I probably should. Let's just run that. Let's just run this thing. We'll auto battle it too. Not gonna really matter. It's an easy little.
Nap time.
How's it in Genshin now? I bet you that, like, since there's so much time invested in it, now it's probably an easier time to get into it.
The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Oh, look at that. 20 points. So, oh my god, there. Do me dirty, man. Where's the Bailu? Should we just level her up? I think we should. That's slow grinded level. You don't play Genshin. I don't know, Genshin just didn't appeal to me, but also I wasn't a fan of what's the of Breath of the Wild. After a week of playing Breath of the Wild, I ended up returning it. So
Seize the moment.
those style of like exploration games where they don't really tell you where to go, not my cup
Time
of
for a
tea.
shot. Nap time.
Past victories don't guarantee future ones.
Come on.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Yep.
Fighting is meaningless.
Oh, the gray raven one. I've heard about that one. Heard about it.
In the name of Len, a will forged in ice never falters.
Welcome, customers.
I've no interest in. The truth of life in the sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Damn, man, he just. Well, these guys are super low level. It's just like easy to rip through them.
Fighting is meaningless.
Naughty child. Nap time. A delicate operation.
Oops. Don't really have it. All we got. All right. Let's. Actually, I do want to try to see if we can do Super League right before. This will be the last thing I do for tonight. I'm gonna call it, but I do want to see if I can get. Want to see if we could beat it in at least 8. I think. Which ones do I need? Is it middleweight and heavyweight? Beat them in at least 8 rounds. Get those free credits. Yeah, the humor is actually funny. I actually one of the funnier what was it? The funnier quest I had in this was the catfishing one. I thought that one was hilarious. Okay, so we'll go Fire MC. Fire MC. Down home. What ending you went with? I turned the dude. Oh yeah, I turned the dude in. I was like, heck no, man. No scamming here. Oh, screw it. Oh, try this. So these fights aren't randomized, by the way. Like, you get the same ones every time you do this, like on the level.
I'm on guard.
We're just trying to kill them as fast as possible.
I'm okay. Naughty child.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Time for a shot.
Let's get rid of it. Okay. Already wasted 2 rounds on this. Gotta go faster. My best record is 9. I can get close to 8. Just want the credits. Want the credits. Okay, this is all on Natasha.
Fighting is meaningless.
Okay.
Naughty child. Nap time.
Okay, cool.
Time first.
The truth of life and death.
I got this guy.
It's but a vision. Break!
Boom. Okay. And we're let's go and take this out.
Naughty nap time.
Sick. Okay. We're getting there. Might be able to. Okay. We're taking about 2 rounds a match. Oh man. Okay. This is gonna be a little rough.
Scratch. Not a scratch. Move carefully.
Time for a shot.
Oh my god. Alright, I don't. Oh, it's not looking good. Okay.
Lance ablaze.
It's not looking good. Alright.
Forward.
Okay.
The truth of life and the sanctuary is but a vision. Break! Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Oh yeah, the giant robot guards are a really big pain in the ass there.
The truth of life and death.
And they still scale up too. That's the all of all things. So when you get into the higher levels, they still scale up. So there's still a pain.
No interest in conflict.
Okay.
Naughty child. Nap time.
Can't punish me if you're stunned.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
Okay. Oh,
The truth of life and
oh man, we're gonna cut it close with this one.
Naughty child.
Lance at the ready.
Okay, for sure. Okay. Getting close. Okay, yeah, we're not beating it. We're gonna get this second too. Ugh. Oh no. Yep, we're not beating this. We're not beating this.
I'm okay.
Pretty much had to beat this in a turn.
Not a scratch. Lance, forward.
And that ain't happening.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision.
That ain't happening.
Lance ablaze. Lance, forward.
Still surrender.
Lance ablaze. Lance, forward. The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break.
Oh my god, I'm just rocking the...
Have no interest in conflict. Fighting is meaningless.
Oh my, yep, there it is. There it is. Missed it. Missed it.
The sanctuary is but a vision.
Oh no, we're at 9 white. Oh, 10, yeah. Dang, bad. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to call it here. Alright. So, next stream will be this Sunday. If I can make it on a Friday stream, I will try to stream Friday, but most likely will not be streaming Friday. Instead, I will be back Sunday. I will be back to designing the Dreadnought, and we also might be covering a weekly wrap up in the news of everything that happened over this last week, because there was some D&D news. The pricing of books went up. Books were announced. Oh, wait. All right, so you guys have a good night, and until next time, you guys have a good one, and take care.